you clicked on this video to find out how to get better in Blox Fruits. I'm gonna tell you guys stuff that could get you better in Blox Fruits in almost no time. So let's start with things by fruits and swords. So Blox Fruits gives you a lot of choices with what stuff you can fight with. For an example, you got a lot of fruits that you could like PvP with, or a lot of swords to PvP with. Some people also like to play with gun, but honestly, I don't really recommend doing that. I would only recommend playing gun if you're a pro or have been playing the game for a lot of time now. Alright, so let's get to the actual tip. So a lot of people, when they start playing the game, they actually start playing with fruit stats, because they think that Blox Fruits make you strong in the game. And the thing is, many of them start with easy to play fruits like dough, dragon, ice, and these kind of fruits. If you're a fruit main and want to get better at the game, I would recommend playing with more skillful fruits. And I know that some people have like different opinions on this, but I will say rumble, light, maybe flame and sand, and these other type of fruits. Now people will still probably be asking me, Ravex, why are you recommending these fruits? Because these fruits require skill to play, like you gotta aim properly and you gotta time things. Because like when you play dough, it's so easy to hit the other player. Like you don't even have to do anything. It's like the pinnacle of unskill. And you're extremely predictable if you play these kind of fruits at the beginning, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that. But honestly, if we were talking about fruits and swords, I would actually say that swords are the actual meta. If you want to get better at the game like almost immediately, I would recommend dropping your Blox Fruit stats and just changing it to sword. Because many swords in the game just require a lot of aim and a lot of skill to use. For an example, you want to use Saber. This sword requires timing and aim. Honestly, many of the swords just require aim and like a lot of prediction. Like, just give yourself one singular week, you will see the differences. When I was playing fruit, I wasn't really thinking much about it, but when I switched to sword, everything got like way better. I used to have like 2.5 million bounty back then, and I just started playing with like flame. I know that's also considered like skillful, but it wasn't really getting me anywhere because I was losing and gaining bounty the entire time. So I was like kind of stuck at 2.5 million to 3 million. But when I switched to swords, I immediately jumped from 3 million to 6 million in like a matter of 2 weeks. If you want to have your life easier while trying out like sword stats or that kind of stuff, if you like trying out the new things, I would still stay with Soul Guitar for the time being. But if you think you're ready, then I would actually just recommend playing with Kabucha or Serpent Bow, because both of these are like a challenge to you and are still extremely overpowered, but you just have to time things correctly. Many people, once they get to the 3rd sea, actually aim to get God Human because it does a lot of damage. It can kill someone immediately. But honestly, it's not really considered skill, as you don't really need to think much in like fights, and you can just hit someone immediately. Like, it's not even hard to do anything with it at all. So if you want to give yourself a challenge, which also could get you, by the way, better at the game, I would actually just try Superhuman in PvP. Now, trust me, in the first like day when you play Superhuman, you will play extremely bad. I'm not even kidding. When I started playing Superhuman, I was extremely bad at the game. But after like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I like started getting better at it, and now it's like extremely OP. Oh yeah, and if you use like sword stats, I would actually just recommend using stun fruits, because any other fruit doesn't really make sense. And for the stun fruits that I really recommend playing are ice, dark, and rumble.